Hey, welcome everybody. I'm excited to be talking to you. This is Mark Boersma, and Life Masteries Institute asked me if I'd be willing to give you kind of an idea, an overview of what we're going to be talking about in Discover More Time and Freedom in 20 Minutes. Um, as we've promised, free to attend. There's no pitch, no pressure. Gain clarity on your biggest challenge. Identify your next move with confidence. Um, in going through this, well, first off, let me you might want to know who am I and why am I here and what do I have to offer you? So I've been blessed to be an international speaker and author. I've written 16 books. I'm writing 17, 18, and 19 right now. I've written over 100 white papers and booklets in all different topics. I've traveled all around the world as an international speaker and author. Um, my wife and I have been married for 41 years. We have 7 kids, 10 grandkids, and two more on the way. I own 9 companies, and I have an extra to 20 to 30 hours of free time a week. And so one of the co-authors that I've written a book with, Community Business Partnerships, is Tom Coons. He's the most recent past president of Century 21, the largest real estate franchise in the world. So I've known Tom for over 20 years, and he's become a really good friend. Amazing guy. When I met him 20 years ago, I'd been in business about 20 years, and everything in my life changed. One phone call, and he introduced me to the president of Easter Seals Worldwide. One email, and I'm talking to the president of Caldwell Bankers Worldwide. I mean, it's just like this guy, super nice guy, really smart, very humble, and just a really nice guy. But my whole life changed. And I had all these opportunities. He helped me have more opportunities in a week than I had in decades. And so, how do you get, more time freedom? And so, when I had one company, it wasn't unusual for me to work 60, 70 hours a week, sometimes even over 100 hours a week. And with Tom, I was forced into a situation because I had so many opportunities that I went ahead and said, I got to figure out how to gain more time. And so I actually learned the secret about time. So in the 20 minutes, we're going to be talking about that. I went from one company and not having any extra free time, working 60 to 100 plus hours a week, to now owning owning 9 companies and having an extra 20 to 30 hours of plus time a week. And the secret is how I thought. I learned to think about time in a very different way. And so we're going to be talking about that in the 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and be talking about what's called the BOSS system. It's the business operating system. It's the engine that runs our business. We earn the money, we earn work, the hours we work, have the stress and life balance we do or don't have, because of that engine in that business, in our business. And so we create that. There's 3 elements to the engine. So there's the DNA for people, business, and life. And in the Zoom call, we'll actually show it up on the screen for you. We'll actually show you the models and going through it. It's really cool. Tom, when he first saw it, he's like, Mark, this is absolutely crazy. So the DNA for people is Personality Masteries. It's through a nonprofit organization. They have tons of tools and systems and free things that you have. Again, they're a nonprofit, but we can learn how to identify somebody's personality in 17 seconds. Once we identify their personality, we know their strengths, weaknesses, what they like, what they don't, turns them on, turns them off, if they're married, who they're married to, conflict in marriage. We know more about them in 17 seconds than they know about themselves. And so that's the DNA for people. It works in everything. So it can be relationships, children, marriage. It can be in sales, learning how to do that. It'll help you save a massive amount of time because you'll understand people a lot faster. The DNA for business is the 530 grid. So there's 5 areas in every business: marketing, pre-sales, sales, servicing, client, relationship for life. So marketing is how do you generate more and better leads? Pre-sales is once you get a lead, what do you do with it? The sale is the yes or the no. Servicing is how do you create a raving fan experience and get everybody to refer business to you. And then client relationships for life is how do you build lifelong, clients? And so it's like a pipeline with 5 pipes, and we're only as strong as our smallest pipe. So you're going to enjoy that to see that model. When Tom first saw the model, he's like, I've never seen anything like this, Mark. This is absolutely amazing. He said, this is like the holy grail for business. And we're going to show you all of that. You're going to be able to see all of that. And then the DNA for life for natural laws, there's over 500 of those that we've discovered in the last 30 plus years. And so we're going to do that. My background, I have, well, before we go there, so we're going to go through the DNA for people, business, and life and cover all of that. And so hopefully this will give you some idea. You definitely want to attend this thing. What we will do is we will have, after the 20 minutes, those that want to stick around for a Q&A, they can stick around for a Q&A. If they have any questions, happy to go ahead and answer any questions. Again, I have an extra 20 to 30 hours of free time a week. And so I love to help businesses. My passion. I have been blessed to where I don't have to work. I don't have to make money. And so I enjoy helping people. And so I'm excited to see you participate in this as well. You'll enjoy it a lot. My background is I have 3 business degrees. I have one in finance, one in management, and one in marketing. When I graduated from college, I had 6 job offers coming out of college. And the only job that I knew I didn't want to do was sales because I didn't like salespeople and I never wanted to become one. My wife and I were married when we were sophomores in college. She was 19, I was 20. And so she was going through college at the same time I was. We went through and graduated, and she got her elementary education degree. And then we decided to start a family. She was actually 3 months pregnant when I took 100% straight commission position right out of college. I went in the company, and it was a small company. They'd only been in business 2 years. They gave me 3 days of training, 3 days of training, and they said, go out and sell. I went out and I got destroyed. I love people. I just don't like them. And so I'm not an extrovert. I'm an introvert. I have a hard time selling. I have a hard time with people. They just irritate me. So I'm not a good natural salesperson. And so I went out there and got destroyed. First 3 months. I made $1 an hour, $1 an hour. Went to the president company, pounded on his desk, and I said, Tony, I'm doing everything you guys are telling me to do. None of it's working. And he said, Mark, it takes 12 to 18 months, which they didn't tell me at the beginning. But I didn't have time because now I have a wife that's 6 months pregnant. In addition to that, we started, we bought our first home. And so I said, well, Tony, I don't have 12 to 18 months. He said, well, Mark, what do you think you ought to do? And I said, well, I think, fortunately for me, I'd started a number of my own companies when I was in college. One of them was a computer company. So I had more computing power at home than the whole company had. And so he said, what do you think you ought to do? And I listed 3 things. He said, well, go do them. I went out and did it. It took me a month to come up with the first tool. And I went out there after 4 months and accomplished more in a week than I had in 4 months. 6 months after I joined that company, I was promoted to a regional manager. 6 months after that, marketing manager. And a year and a half after that, offered a position as vice president of sales with an equity position in the company. My goal was to be in C-level, executive level, earning 6-figure income within 7 years. I was able to do that within a year and a half. And so that was an amazing experience for me. I was on track. I was 27 years old. I had over $1 million in equity. I was on track to make over $460,000 a year. And so just an amazing opportunity. I left that company to start Synergy Solutions. And, a lot of times people say, to my wife, what does your husband do, for an occupation? What does he do for a living? She'll laugh and say she's not sure, but she thinks I'm a mental chiropractor is what she says. And so what's the difference in business between earning 100,000 and 250 or $500,000 and 250 or $1 million or 5 million? What's the difference? It's how we think. And so this 20 minutes is going to be an amazing ride for you. And so hopefully this gives you enough of a background about me and about what we're going to do. You're going to enjoy the 20 minutes. If you're able to stick around after 20 minutes to have, Q&A, happy to do that. Answer any questions you have on any area of business and life. but you're going to walk away and it's going to be like you're drinking out of a fire hose, and it's going to be a good one. So hopefully that's beneficial for you. If you have any questions, connect with the individual who invited you to participate, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300. Outside the U.S., 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.